You know what, Howlers? I'll do a Zangoose battle just for you. Dude, this player's insane. They actually no shield their potential close combat. Maybe they don't know what this thing has. Oh no, they do. I just keep winning CMP though. That is the Zangoose way. Oh man. Hey everyone, so if you tuned into my video from yesterday, you'll know that I mentioned that I have another Ultra League team that's been performing incredibly well, and I initially went on a 26-4 run with the team, played another set, and got another 5-0, so 31-4. The team I used to hit this incredible record was with Deoxys Defense, Galarian Stunfisk, and Obstagoon. Maybe not the most spiciest picks by any means, but the combination and the team composition tends to work very well in today's meta. So I have every game that I played with this team on this run. So strap yourselves in because it's going to be a long video, but hopefully it'll be a good one. Before we get into the rest of the footage, a big shout out and thank you to all my patrons who've been supporting my content creation. If you would also like to have early access on my strategies and lineups or see behind the scenes footage of my battles, feel free to sign up in the link down below. For context on how good this team is, some of my patrons have been telling me that they kind of wish that I hold off on making this video because it's just so strong and working well for them as well. But, you know, gotta share the team eventually here. So going into a Talonflame lead, fairly solid for this team just because you don't really want that matchup against the Obstagoon nor Galarian Stunfisk, especially when they have shields. Galarian Stunfisk does decent against it if they don't have shields or invest shields, but with 2 shields up, that Talonflame can do a lot of work, especially if you have to swap into it. So my opponent here is coming in with their own Obstagoon, so this is really solid for me. I don't really need to shield anything here. I just need to grab one of their shields with this Deoxys Defense, so I am going to throw my Thunderbolt here, and then we do grab a shield. I'm going to no shield. If this is a Brave Bird, that's okay. Ends up being Flame Charge, and then now with the 2-to-1 shield advantage, it's much easier to handle this Talonflame here. Unfortunately, I let it incinerate through, so maybe not the best fast move timing on my end. I think at this point I'm just content on just letting this go and countering down the Obstagoon here. Yeah, this should be enough. And I have 2 Cycle Boosts ready, so with only 1 shield on the Talonflame, this will be enough to take it out. Probably could play that matchup a little bit cleaner, but it is what it is. Coballion! First Coballion I've seen, I think, ever in Ultra League. So definitely a spicier of a pick. But pretty good for the Deoxys Defense, just because you're so bulky, you could just tank all these moves. And then now they come in with the Shadow Claw Giratina, very solid safe swap in Ultra League, but Obstagoon is a very strong check to that. You are doing resisted counters though, so it's not as great as it may seem. But yeah, able to just spam these out. I don't know if we get a boost or not. A little bit latency, but here it is. What's up, Jax? Not really sure what she wants. Anyway, I think she's off. Yes, so now we're in a pretty solid position here. They do come in with the Clefable. I'm going to swap straight away to my Galarian Stunfisk, and we're going to start throwing moves here. And then now they come in with the Giratina. This is okay because the Deoxys Defense could definitely handle the Clefable, so I just didn't want them to farm my Obstagoon at that point. If I lock in my Deoxys Defense into the Charmer, then the Giratina is just going to farm a bunch of energy. So at this point, I'm going to come back in with my Obstagoon with Ultra League. The most important thing is there's a lot of bulk on all these teams, so you can really play around with the switch timers. Main thing you want to remember is to save as many Pokemon as you can, because in case there's a timeout victory, then it's not great. Alright, so I'm going to let this Clefable take me out here. I actually do get to a Rock Slide, which is kind of nice, and I still have a very healthy Deoxys Defense, and able to finish it off here. Anyway, Abomasnow, pretty solid against a lot of things that are weak to counter in the lead. This team is very good because you have a lot of options with both Deox Defense and with Obstagoon. I'm going to throw the Psycho Boost here because I want to weaken this enough so that I could come in with my Obstagoon to finish this off. So it's pretty solid here. We are going to, they do a great job of throwing the Earthquake. It's going to do more damage than the Hydro Cannon, and if they go and get one move off, that's definitely the better play. They come in with a Kanto Muck. This is very good for me. I also get the boost, and I'm going to no shield this. Typically speaking, a lot of people shield boost, but you don't really need it at this point. And now we're in a very good spot. Of course, the Abomasnow could potentially catch a Earthquake, so I do have to watch out for that, but they do not. And yeah, we're in a very commanding position at this point. There's not really anything that the Muck could really threaten us with. And we go for another Earthquake, and this should take it out if they don't shield. Do they shield? They don't shield. Yep, and it's going to be GG's. Not really sure what's going on here. Maybe they just quit out. Sometimes I think people do that, and the game just ends up freezing here. Either way, if they did lag, this is not a situation where they could win, and we're going to finish off there. All right. Against a Melmetal, so this is kind of an interesting one. They come in Gyarados here, so I'm going to throw the Thunderbolt. It's going to do a lot of damage, and then I'm going to come in with my Galarian Stunfisk here. Galarian Stunfisk is going to take Super Effective from these Aqua Tails, but I know that I survived the Dragon Breaths afterwards, so it's still not too bad, and I should get to this Rock Slide. Unfortunately, I do have to shield here, but that's okay. I really don't want the Melmetal against my Obstagoon. Obstagoon obviously solid with the counters and cross chops, but those superpowers really hurt. And now here comes the Cresselia. Really good timing on there to throw the Grass Knot there. And now we are going to come in with the Obstagoon and start throwing some super effective Night Slashes. Moonblast's going to hurt here, but I kind of want to save my shield for a potential superpower. And here they come with the Melmetal here. And I do have the matchup I want. Definitely want Deox Defense against the Melmetal. Cresselia is really good against Deox Defense, so you don't really want that matchup too much. And I'm okay with just letting this go because now I can farm up a little extra here, and we're in a good spot because I have a lot of energy here. But the problem is Cresselia is very bulky. So yeah, this is not going to be good. They might potentially bait with a Grass Knot, and I end up shielding it, which is very unfortunate. I think I do win that if I just let the Grass Knot go, because Psychos don't do enough. So unfortunately, one of our losses, but still super close, right? A lot of play against that team, but the opponent played very well, and yeah, unfortunately, it's not going to be enough. So one or a few losses, but that's okay. They actually bait with a Psyshock here, which is kind of surprising. I did not expect that. But anyway, so we come in here with a Galarian Stunfisk, and now they're throwing the energy here. Kind of interesting. I wouldn't really recommend it. And they come in with Politoed. The extra damage was probably not super necessary here. But I'm going to no-shield this because Weather Balls aren't enough to take it out. I'm going to throw a Rock Slide just in case they decide to throw another move, and they actually let it go. So really good understanding of how much the Rock Slide damage would do, but because the timers are misaligned, we come in with Deox Defense. Again, understanding the moveset timings here, the Ultra League timings here is very crucial. They actually let the first Psycho Boost go. I'm very confused by that play, but that's okay. They pretty much have to debuff themselves if they want to go Leaf Storm here, so I'm going to let it go, and they throw a Weather Ball. Now we're in a very good position. And I'm coming in here, and I finish off with a Mud Shot there. I think I was potentially trying to catch there. I don't know, but either way, we were in a good spot. All right, against a Shadow Claw Giratina, you definitely want to get out of these matchups. Shadow Claw is still fairly solid against Galarian Stunfisk. I have no idea why they went the Dragon Claw there, but that's okay. We are going to start throwing these Rock Slides to take out this Charizard. And Charizard not nearly as strong as Talonflame is, and we're going to catch a move here, which is pretty solid. That we can save the Galarian Stunfisk here for the back end. Is this a good spot to be in? I don't know. This one's still throwing Dragon Claws. Maybe it's running Ancient Power. Maybe it's single moved. Not really sure about that. But my guess is they don't have the Shadow Sneak here, which makes sense from their previous play. Deox Defense still could do a little chunk of damage, but I'm going to Swish Rock myself here because they don't have one Pokemon left, so it doesn't really matter. And they do concede right there, so we have no idea what they have in the back, but it seemed like it was a good position for the Obstagoon. All right, opponent counter swaps the Galarian Stunfisk with their Registeel. This is a good matchup for us, especially with the slight entry lead. They actually go Zap Cannon first, kind of wild, but I always never shield the first one because in case they do some Zap Cannon play like that. The second one's probably worth shielding. I don't shield that one either because I know I live the Focus Blast, so if they want double shield, they can, and so we win switch even when we were down a shield. We didn't invest a shield just because that Zap Cannon play. I don't think it's worth it, but maybe some players would shield on Galarian Stunfisk. I don't know, but I personally don't. Now we're in a good spot. Dragon Breath is still going to do quite a bit to Obstagoon, but we definitely don't want this thing against the Ox defense here. And we still don't know what they have in the back here, but I'm going to shield just in case because I kind of need this to still be healthy here. And now comes the Greedents. Greedent pretty strong against the Ox defense, but you definitely have some play because you got super effective counters, but at the same time they got super effective crunches that are very, very spammy. Also Greedent's just super bulky. I am going to shield the second crunch, which yeah, and then they get another crunch off. Probably should have saved this shield a third crunch, to be honest, but in case you got a defense drop, but that's fine. We're in a good spot here, and they get to a Dragon Claw. That's not good. Now we lose. So one of our other losses, a close one, but yeah, well played. Opponent probably lagged a little bit there, not great. But we're going to throw a Thunderbolt. They no shield, and now I'm going to swap over to my Galarian Stunfisk and potentially catch a Shadow Ball, which we do. Kind of nice. But now the Scrafty has much more play against the Galarian Stunfisk. Typically speaking, a Scrafty swapping into Galarian Stunfisk has to shield at least once to win that matchup, which is kind of crazy how good Galarian Stunfisk is. But now with the Shadow Ball landing, it's fine. And then it looks like, I don't know, they're just lagging like at the beginning of every switch in here. Something a little odd. Either way, we still shield the foul play, which is good. So even if they got a few more counters, it wouldn't be a huge deal. And then now they come in with the Crobat. I am going to catch a Poison Fang here, and this is a good spot to be in. We have a lot of energy here, so we're just going to go straight for the Night Slashes. No real need to even throw the Cross Chops here. And because they go straight Hydro Cannon, I am debuffed, so just not really a big deal. And then we just counter down from here. All right, Umbreon. Not a great spot, but you definitely want this thing on the Obstagoon. Obstagoon's going to do very well against this. And Galarian Stunfisk, you definitely have to throw the Earthquakes here. Rock Slides are not very good, just as a move in general, but especially without same type attack bonus. Rock Slide's not a terrible move, but since the nerf is not nearly as good as it used to be, and you just need the hard-hitting Earthquakes to take this thing out. All right, so my opponent, no shields there, and now we're in a good spot because I could just take it out with the Rock Slide. Do I shield? I choose not to shield. Oh, and we still survive. That's huge. And they shield, and we get to another Rock Slide. Do they double shield this? They do. They really don't want to see the Galarian Stunfisk. I'm really confused what they have in the back here, and it's going to be a Talonflame. So now I'm going to come in with my Deoxys. I assume that they have something that's good for against this thing, and it is going to be the Cresselia. So that's perfect because after catching all that energy on the Talonflame, I don't really need this Deoxys defense against the Cresselia here. And they actually go Grass Knot. Kind of interesting. Maybe they realize they need 2 moves anyway, so maybe that's actually quite the smart play. Or maybe they have Future Sight. We shall see. But go for another Grass Knot. So, and now I'm going to go straight for the Night Slash here, swapping out, preserving my Deoxys defense just in case we get timeouts. But now we're in a good spot. I guess we'll never know if the Cresselia has Moonblast or Future Sight as their second move. But they go for the big hard-hitting Brave Bird, which I think is the correct play because there's just not enough time for them to burn through both of my shields. And yeah, we win that matchup there. I completely understand why they didn't, they stayed in too with Umbreon. All right, Drapion here, very strong against the Ox's defense, and then now they come in with the Umbreon. So Umbreon and Drapion, not great for my Deoxys defense because even if this Umbreon's low, it's still going to do quite a bit of damage to my Deoxys defense later, and I can't really win switch here unless I really commit shields. Do I commit shields? I do commit one. Okay, so they are running Dark Pulse, which is kind of nice because with Dark Pulse, it takes a little bit more energy, and now they are going come in with the Drapion here. I'm going to go straight for the Earthquake. Probably could bait there with Rock Slides, but we just decided to go for it. And they have Aqua Tails. I think even if I bait with the Rock Slide, I still don't get off the Earthquake, so I think it's good just to get the Guarantee Shield there. All right, now we have the Obstagoon here, which is decent against the Drapion. I'm actually not sure why they're running Aqua Tail. I feel like Sludge Bomb Crunch makes a little bit more sense for Ultra League, but they are opting for the Aqua Tail coverage, maybe for the Talonflames. Let's see what they have in the back. Yeah, so they do have a Galvantula, which makes sense because it's a little bit weaker to the Talonflames. All right, we swap over to the Deoxys Defense here. I'm going to get debuffed. But I'm going to throw the Psycho Boost as soon as possible. Unfortunately, I don't get it off before the second lunge, so that's not good. But it's going to do a good chunk of damage here. Do we get to another one? We do. Deoxys Defense putting in work here, but this Galvantula is loaded with energy. Can we get to Night Slash in time? I actually don't think we could, but we actually do. They must have just got the energy for it, so super close match, but it'll finish it off. Deoxys Defense does not want to face that team. You got the Drapion, you got the Umbreon, you got the Galvantula, all of it very good against the Deoxys Defense there, but we did what we could. All right, now we got I swap over here after tanking the move here, because I know that I need to take a move here, otherwise I actually lose against Cresselia if they decide to double shield, if I'm swapping into a Cresselia here. So they choose not to, and then now I go for the Earthquake. Do they shield us? They actually shield the Earthquake. That's kind of big. Now I come in with my Deoxys Defense. Our timers are misaligned, so it's a good play by my opponent to come in and start doing some super effective counters against my Galarian Stunfisk. But now they are locked into the Deoxys Defense, and they get boosted, which is unfortunate. We're going to shield here because that boosted Obstagoon is very deadly for the backline here. Do they shield? And they don't shield. Okay, that's good. And now I am able to throw at least a Psycho Boost, do a little chip damage, and now I come in with the Galarian Stunfisk. A lot of swapping back and forth in this matchup. Those are the exciting ones. All right, now I come with the Obstagoon here. Could be a Moonblast. I'm just going to let it go. And it ends up being a Grass Knots. Okay, interesting. So that's actually kind of a big no shield there. Let's see what they have in the back. I am doing some weird stuff with my phone. And then now, yeah, this could have been potentially a Skull Bash, but ends up being just a Surf. Or it could have been an Ice Beam, I guess, too. Don't really know what they have here, so I'm trying to figure out the timing. If this is Surf, I survive, but they actually do throw the Ice Beam. Well played by them. And yeah, we got ourselves another loss, but that's okay. That's loss number 3. We got 1 loss remaining in this entire video. So let's see how it is. I feel like that one I could have played a little better as well. I also don't know if me minimizing the screen made a difference or not. But yeah, my opponent there, no shields to Earthquake, which puts me in a huge advantageous position here. And now we come in with the we have a Heracross here, and they go Rock Blast, and I come in with my Obstagoon. Let's see what they have. They have Close Combat. That's really good news because they have Close Combat and Rock Blast. Both are not very great against the Deoxys Defense here, so I'm going to farm some energy, and I think what my plan here is to throw the move, burn the timer, clear my debuff, then come back in and finish off the Galvantula. Pretty much just need to shield this because I have no health left on my Galarian Stunfisk. And we swap over here, and they actually throw their energy here, which is perfect because now I can throw the Psycho Boost. Even if they catch on the Heracross, we're okay. And now the Heracross with no super effective moves left for Deoxys Defense, we are in a good spot, and we finish it off. Yeah, Galvantula lead, being both strong against Deoxys Defense and Obstagoon is a little tough, but it's manageable for the most part. Now, honestly, any team you run into is pretty manageable, I think, which is why this team is so good. It gives you a lot of chances to outplay the opponents, and you have a lot of bulk on the team. All right, so Scrafty definitely don't want to see that on the back line. And now they come in with Jellicent. I probably shouldn't have thrown that move there, but just want to make it a little bit easier, I guess, for my Galarian Stunfisk. And then now we're in a good position here because we can just throw these Rock Slides. Let's see if the opponent shields or not. I should be able to get off maybe a third one too, as long as I shield. And it looks like I do. That's perfect. I don't even need a shield here, which is really good. And I could come in with the Deoxys Defense, and we get the Psycho Boost off, which is huge because now we have the Obstagoon, shield advantage against Jellicent. My opponent does concede. Armor Mewtwo, very cool looking Pokemon. Yeah, very interesting too. It actually can beat Obstagoon because that Dynamic Punch does a lot of damage. So I really want to stay in here for at least a little bit until it's within some Night Slash range, and my opponent is going straight Side Shock here. So Side Strike, sorry. And so I go right over to my Galarian Stunfisk here, and they are going to farm up and probably throw a Dynamic Punch, and that's fine. I figured they didn't have Earthquake, because if they did, they would have thrown it against my Deoxys defense. So my guess is they had 2 resistant moves against my Deoxys defense, and here comes a Shadow Typhlosion. It's a little scary. And we get to another rock side here. Do they double shield this? Yeah. And now I come in with the Obstagoon. I'm going to shield here. I just didn't want them to farm me down. They only have 1 Pokemon left after this one. So let's see what they have. And they get another move off. I'm going to shield. These are going to hurt quite a bit. What do they have in the back end? We have to counter all the way down. And now they have an Umbreon. Now this is a good matchup. And I assume they'll probably concede soon here. But very good spot for this Obstagoon to be in. Yep, we throw another cross chop here. I think I kind of go for a weird catch here that I don't need to. And yeah, here it is. I think I'm just having a little fun at this point. It's not really necessary, but we do take out the Umbreon there. All right. Again, Umbreon lead. You just want to swap right out. Let's see how they play this out. If you're still sticking around, you're still watching this video, thank you for the support. It is a long one, but I figured why not show the run in full. So it's a mini Caleb Peng movie. All right, we've seen this matchup, but opponent is playing a little differently. They double shield here, so I'm like, wow, they really don't want to see the Galarian Stunfisk here. So with that being said, I think I might even swap out here. I'm trying to see. No, I don't. All right, let's see how we play this out. We do get to 1 more Earthquake here, which is kind of big. And yeah, I decided to let this go. I don't know if it's worth much hunting down, but now I could throw a Psycho Boost and dip, and they come in with the Nidoqueen and a Drapion. So they have the alignment they want for sure. They do not want the Drapion on the Obstagoon. It's not terrible against Obstagoon, but you really just want the Drapion on the Deoxys defense. You don't want the Nidoqueen against the the Nidoqueen against the Deoxys defense. All right, so we are throwing all these Night Slashes. Hopefully I can put it low enough so I can finish this off without having to debuff myself. And we're going to let the first crunch go through, because if I get debuffed, that's not a good time. And yeah, is this enough? Drapion, pretty bulky in XL Ultra League form, but the Deoxys defense is the defense bulk machine, and we are able to take out the Drapion here, which is absolutely huge. And now we finish it off with the Obstagoon there. Yeah, so this team having a lot of play, even if you don't have switch advantage, assuming they don't have just like a Charmer in the back or something like that for the Obstagoon, you can usually make quite a bit work. All right, here's what I'm talking about here. Galarian Stunfisk can beat the Scrafty in 0 shields, especially if they counter swap you if they don't shield. And my opponent here does decide to shield, so that is why the Galarian Stunfisk is so strong. There's very few Pokemon out there that can actually win that matchup in the 0 shield situation. All right, Giratina here I'm just going to throw a move there just to debuff it a little bit. And here comes a Greedent. I'm going to go for the Night Slashes because I think it takes about the same amount of charge moves. And just in case I boost here, that'd be very good because I kind of need a little assistance. I'm down a shields, and this is going to be quite low after all this Greedent damage here. So I'm going to throw the Night Slash right away. I don't really have the luxury to farm down because then I'll just be in Dragon Claw range and I won't be able to land a single move here. It's going to be a tough one. And yeah, they're so healthy. Giratina just super strong even in a situation like this. And now we are in a tough spot. I'm going to throw the Thunderbolt because I don't really want to debuff myself too early here. But this is looking a little bit on the dire side. And yeah, I think after this I realized that there's no way to take this out. I need to get to 2 Psycho Boost, and I don't. So that is loss number 4. Now, if you're like, all right, I saw all the excitement I need, there's no more losses. That is true. But we're about to go on a tear right here. We're about to win everything here on out, and you get to see in full. So, a little spoilers there, but yeah, if you want to see some dubs, stick around. All right, Poliwrath. So a couple of these actually, or at least 2. Yeah, we're in a pretty good spot. Galarian Stunfisk and Deoxys have very solid coverage for each other, so I don't really need the Obstagoon healthy anymore there. And they actually shield the Venusaur here, which is fine because I can let this move go and go straight for the Earthquake, which is going to do a lot of damage. I'm going to shield this because the Poliwrath is not a threat for my Deoxys defense, so we're okay. And we actually get the Rock Slide off here, which is perfect because now this Poliwrath does have to throw the energy, and they are going to concede. All right, Escavalier. Escavalier is pretty solid against this team, has play against everything, so we pretty much just want to stay in here. Is the best possible matchup, and we are going to throw a Thunderbolt, and we did shield the Mega Horn, which is huge. And I'm going to double shield and farm down. Have a lot of energy on this Deoxys defense, and they come in with a Dragonite, so I probably should throw my Psycho Boost, and now they come in with a Charizard, so double flyers with Escavalier. Kind of interesting. Definitely a spicy team, but we just pivot out to the Obstagoon because we want the Galarian Stunfisk against the Dragonite. So they do take me out here with the Blast Burn. Do they have another Blast Burn? They do, but we counter down, and then we could probably throw the Psycho Boost here, grab their shields, have the Galarian Stunfisk. There's nothing the Dragonite can do at this point. And yeah, we finish it off, and they're probably going to concede when they seal this. Yep, yeah, they do. All right. Escavalier, another Escavalier lead, back to back. Let's see if this player plays it out the same way or not. Do they bait? This one is baiting with Acid Spray, so probably a good chance of running Drill Run with the Acid Spray, so I'm not as worried. So because of that, I'm going no shield, which is, well, actually no, they go for double Acid Spray. Don't really understand that one, but I clear debuffs either way, and now we go straight for the Earthquake here, grab a shield, or take out this Empoleon, and yeah. I don't know. This is a weird match. Yeah, it's a tough one either way for the opponents, but I think if they had different movesets or made different shielding decisions, it could be better. But either way, you know, we all make mistakes. And here we have a pretty solid matchup. And honestly, without Charm here, we're in a good spot even with the Obstagoon. I'm going to throw straight away the Psycho Boost, do some decent damage, and then we catch a move on the Obstagoon, which is nice, and we just counter right down. Personally speaking, I would not recommend Acid Spray on the Escavalier. It's just kind of gimmicky, and especially in Blind 3's format. Maybe in Show 6, you understand there's some play there, but the coverage from Escavalier is already pretty solid with the movesets, and Acid Spray is the same amount of energy as Drill Run, so why throw it when you could just throw some guaranteed damage, right? All right, they come in with Typhlosion. Again, pretty solid against this team. Luckily, it doesn't... It's good and bad if they don't have Shadow Claw. Shadow Claw is good against the Deoxys defense, but it's also very bad against Obstagoon, so there's trade-offs there. All right, my opponent is going for a straight farm down here. I'm going to tank the first Blast Burn, and then I probably... No, I let it go. Okay, interesting. I just go... Let all the damage go through. They come in Walrein here. I choose not to shield the Ice Ghost Spear. I'm confused. What am I doing here? Did I already see the third Pokemon? Oh, it's been a lot of matches. I'm kind of losing track. But I go for the counter down. I don't have... Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, we did. Yeah. And now we take out the Typhlosion there. Sorry, it's been quite a few battles so far. Anyway, now they swap in Talonflame here, which is perfect. Talonflame swapping into a Galarian Stunfisk is much better for Galarian Stunfisk. The other way around is much worse, especially if they have shields. I'm trying to time the charge moves a little bit better than I previously did. And we're going to double shield here because we get to the rock side here and should get to another one before this Talonflame takes me out. And we get to it. It's perfect. All right. Now we take out the Talonflame. Let's see what they come back in with. They actually come in Cresselia. That's actually huge. They do throw the Grass Knot before I get to Earthquake. So it's good and bad. Cresselia is very strong against the Deoxys defense, but I need the Obstagoon here because the Obstagoon is I don't really want to tank the Moonblast. So I do force them to bring in the Umbreon, and this is a very good matchup for the Obstagoon. So we're going to throw these cross shots. I just need some chip damage on the Cresselia to take it out. I know that I don't get a ton of damage with the Obstagoon because one Grass Knot at this point is enough. And I actually come in with the Deoxys Defense anticipating a charge move coming, and that's exactly what they do. So that's actually very big for me because now the Obstagoon should be in a good spot. I think I recognize that because the Umbreon was throwing a foul play. So the only reason they throw that is because they're trying to burn your timer a little bit, or they have like, you know, 1 HP left and they're just throwing the last ditch move. But that wasn't the case there, right? And they do the same thing that I'm doing. We're in sync with our switches. Unfortunately, I did have the composition there advantage. All right. Walrein against Trevenant. Actually haven't seen much Trevenant lately for some reason, but we do have the Walrein Trevenant core, the infamous one, both in Great League and Ultra League, and we're in a very, very good spot here because the Walrein doesn't really want to come into this Obstagoon either. So, and they shield, kind of an interesting shield. So we'll match shields. That's okay. The Walrein doesn't really want to come into Obstagoon, so they might bring in their third Pokemon instead. No, they come in with the Walrein. All right, so we're gonna throw the cross chops, do as much damage as possible. They can't really farm this down. They're taking a lot of damage in return, so I'm going to let this go. I have the Deoxys Defense. I could throw Psycho Boost and debuff myself, and then clear it with the Galarian Stunfisk. So we're in a very comfortable position. What do they have in the back? Yeah, they lag a little bit. I was like, try to give them a chance to come back in a little bit, but unfortunately, regardless, this is a very bad matchup for them, and even without the lag, the Stunfisk was going to clean up, and they concede right there. All right, we get another Walrein in the lead. A lot of back-to-back leads. Interesting. Yeah, we're in a good spot here. We're going to go straight for the Thunderbolts, and this might be Earthquake, so I'm going to Shields. Ends up being just an Icicle Spear. This might be Earthquake, but I don't want to dump 2 shields at this point, and they do throw the Earthquake, so good baiting by them. Kind of surprised. Let's see what they have in the back, and it's going to be a Swampert, so we're going to throw the Psycho Boost here and do as much damage as possible, and let's see how we play this out. So yeah, we can't really swap out here, so because it's very good against the Galarian Stunfisk, so I'm going to let that go and come in with the Obstagoon. We can tank 1 Hydro Cannon. We don't really want to tank too many after that. Obviously we could tank a second one, but not a ton. All right, and at this point I let it go, expecting maybe I have a good matchup here, and it is going to be a Talonflame. So like I said, in 2 shields this is good for a Talonflame, but in 1 shields it's not as good, and I do get off another Rock type, which is perfect. I have a Night Slash banked, so this is good. I don't really need to win this matchup. They win CMP here, but we have the Night Slash ready, so we throw this, and that should be GG's on this one. And yeah, we do finish off the town there. All right, Giratina, also a really tough lead. I think a lot of our losses were against Giratina leads. I do come into a Dragon Breath one, which is much better for my team overall, besides the Obstagoon matchup. But it's very good for the Galarian Stunfisk matchup, and my opponent just concedes there. I have no idea why, but hey, you cut down on a little time for this YouTube video, so I appreciate the service. All right, we have a Blastoise here. Very solid matchup, but those water guns are still doing a lot of damage actually, so maybe not as good as I thought. But we do have to tank a Hydro Cannon here, and now they come in with a Skuntank, sorry. Kind of interesting, and they shield, so I'm expecting maybe this is a Flamethrower, so I'm going to shield as well. And now we farm up a lot of energy here, and they're going to shield again. Do they get to another Flamethrower? They probably do. Yep, they do, but that's fine. We're going to overfarm a little bit. They come in with the Blastoise, kind of interesting. Let's see what they come in with. Is it the Skuntank? And it is, so we're going to throw the Earthquake. Let's see what they have in the back end. It is a Pidgeot. This is not great for the Pidgeots. It's not terrible against this team besides this matchup, but the Gusts just don't take out the Stunfisk as quickly, and they have to go Brave Bird if they want to take me out here, and they actually go Feather Dance, and we win that matchup. All right, Obstagoon against a Charm Safe Swap. This is always scary because whenever you see a Charm Safe Swap, I always think maybe they have double Charmers in the bag, and that's really bad for the Obstagoon, and I'm getting rid of my best Charm check here, so I'm going to throw my energy as soon as possible. I want to be able to do enough damage against this Obstagoon just in case they have another Charmer, so I need to just pile on as much as possible. which is why I didn't really want to farm energy on the Sylveon there, because I would just take a lot of charm damage in the process. We're going to shield the Night Slashes just in case, and they boost. That's not good. That's very bad. Alright, so now we do throw the Thunderbolt. Do they let it go? And they do. Now comes the Cresselia. So I'm going to throw a Thunderbolt as soon as possible, just in case the Moonblast debuffs me. And they shield the Thunderbolts. I don't know about that shield. I think if they didn't shield, they'd be in a much better position. But now we have the Super Effective Night Slashes. These are really going to add up. And I should be able to get off at least one more, which puts it in a comfortable range for my Thunderbolts to be able to handle the Cresselia. And as you can see here, they pretty much have to throw the energy, and it has to be a Moonblast, otherwise I take it out. And at this point, DX Defense, super bulky, can handle any of these charge moves, and we go straight for the Thunderbolt to take out the Cresselia. Probably Psycho Boost would have been enough, but it is what it is. Alright, Alolan Ninetales, especially with Charm, you definitely want to stay in here. It's an okay matchup, and now they come in with Drapion. Galarian Stunfisk is probably my best matchup against the Alolan Ninetales, but at the same time, I need to make sure that I maintain switch advantage. So we're gonna no shield, see what happens. I win this regardless, and I'm going continuously no shield because these poison stings are not doing enough. They cannot poison sting me down. So in a good spot here, and they come in with the Jellicent. This is pretty good. We run into a little lag here, but still get off the move, which is solid. And they shield. And now we get another Rock Slide off, which is kind of nice. Now I have the Obstagoon. Let's see what they throw here. Do they throw the Bubble Beam? And they do throw the Bubble Beam. Kind of a blind Bubble Beam throw, but because I have 2 shields, I get it. And now I'm getting ready for a potential snipe down with the Alolan Ninetales, and they haven't done it yet. I am debuffed, but I need to stay in here. I'm not going to swap to my DX Defense to clear this because I need this matchup for sure. I'm going to continuously no shield because these Bubble Beams are not enough, and dude, yeah, I'm quintuple debuffed at this point, maybe more than that. All right, now they come in for the snipe, but I'm still going to shield either way. All I need to do is keep this DX Defense healthy enough so I can take out the Alolan Ninetales, and then the Obstagoon can clean up the Jellicent, and we're in a good spot after that. These neutral counters are still going to definitely add up, and yeah, we take it out, and they concede. All right, Talonflame, shiny Talonflame. Is it? No, it's not 100%, but it's 2500, which is very nice. Might be a best buddy Talonflame. Yeah, it's probably best buddy one, or some other interesting spread. I don't know. Either way, we throw the Thunderbolt here. It's very good. And then we get the shield, and then now we just shield this Flame Charge, and we could take it out with a Rock Slide. This is a very good matchup. And then at this point, they come in with a Melmetal here. They went through the Superpower, and they come in Cresselia. Cresselia is going to be doing some solid damage here. I am going to swap over to my Obstagoon because I really want the Obstagoon to do as much damage as possible before this Melmetal comes back in. And we get off one Night Slash at least before the second Moonblast comes through. It's kind of a weird one. So we do have to farm up some energy here, and here comes the Melmetal, and now we bring in the Stunfisk. We drop the Earthquake, enough to take it out. I probably didn't need to throw the Earthquake there. I don't know. Unfortunately, now we do get taken out by the Grass Knot here. Actually, so maybe I miscounted. Maybe I did have one other loss there. Yeah, maybe I had one more loss. Anyway, I'll go back and check the record here. Either I did have 4 losses, or maybe I had 5 losses. By the time you see this video, I'll probably have it sorted out in the title. But okay, so that was interesting. So we did have one more loss. I thought that was wins all the way throughout. But if you stuck around this long, you'll know that I was mistaken. All right, really well played by my opponent there, though, in that matchup, because I think it was not the easiest one for them either. All right, we have a Giratina versus Obstagoon. Definitely one of the favorable matchups here. This is Dragon Breath Giratina though, so we definitely are in a better spot with the Jax Defense and the Galarian Stunfisk, but not as good with the Obstagoon. They come back in with the Registeel to farm, And I'm going to just shield here. I should get off one more Earthquake. Earthquake does a lot of damage, so I need this damage. And they actually catch the move on their Stunfisk. Really well played there. And now we're going to come in with my Deoxys Defense. Deoxys Defense can handle a Zap Cannon here, so it doesn't win this matchup straight up, but it still does decent. And now I'm going to come in with the Obstagoon here to start farming it down with counters and throwing cross chops. They pretty much either have to throw the energy there, or they might get to another Zap Cannon, but I had a Thunderbolt, and that was going to be enough. All right, Nidoqueen. Nidoqueen is pretty solid here. Really great catch by their on the Obstagoon, because that does very little, and now I'm debuffed. So really solid play by my opponent there. I'm going to come in with my own Obstagoon. Just a chance to cross chop, so I kind of need a shield. Ends up being just a Night Slash. I'm going to go straight cross chop myself. I probably could have gone Night Slash here, but I chose not to. Probably would have been better there. And they come in with a Scrafty. So Nidoqueen, double counter, double dark, and double counter user. This is good though, because we have the alignment we want, and they undercharge that, which is the right play after CMPing there. And then now I'm going to counter down. I'm going to shield because nothing really in the back end is going to threaten too much the rest of my line. I'm going to go for the Psycho Boost. I expect maybe a double shield. I don't know. Maybe I'll just throw one and swap out. Let's see how I play it. Yeah, that's exactly what I do, because they know they survived the second one, so there's no need to shield it. But now they concede. Right. We have a Talonflame lead again. This one is going to throw the Brave Bird and probably swap out. That's exactly what they do. I throw one Psycho Boost. Do we get another do we get a shield? No shield on the first one. They shield the second one, which is interesting. I feel like they probably should shield the first one if they wanted to save the health on their Nidoqueen, but that's fine. We are going to throw an Earthquake here to hopefully take it out. We have a shield advantage. It's very good, and the opponent does concede at that point because Talonflame does not want to come into that either. I'm playing this one a little weird. I think I was hoping to try to catch a Shadow Ball on the Stunfisk, which I end up forcing him to throw anyway, but this puts him in a good position, so I probably misplayed that a little bit because now the Registeel can win Switch here. So not the best situation for me, but we do force two shields here. Should I shield? I do shield. Maybe I shouldn't have. I don't know. Typically speaking, Galarian Stunfisk would win this, but because I took that Shadow Ball, it was a little unfortunate. And now you can see I was trying to potentially catch on my Deoxys Defense, but was not able to do it. But that's fine. We farm it down. We have the Thunderbolts for the Jellicent, and let's see what they have in the back. And they still haven't swapped out yet. Now it's going to be a Walrein. This is very good. So Obstagoon, definitely a core breaker against this entire team, really. I mean, it's pretty good against Registeel if you have shields up as well. Yeah, my opponent just does not have a very reliable answer to Obstagoon, especially in these two remaining Pokemon. Although these Icicle Spears are going to definitely start adding up, but I go for the aggressive counter down. Now we have Night Slashes on end, and we get a boost. If it's Bubble Beam, it's enough for me to live it, but it ends up being Ice Beam, but that's okay. We get to the Psycho Boost either way, and we would live a Shadow Ball if they threw one there. All right, another Empoleon lead. Very, very solid. So let's see how this goes. And great catch by the Sylveon there, but that's fine. We do go straight for the Earthquake here, and just so we could start farming a little bit extra energy. No need to really shield anything here. But I will have a Earthquake ready for that Empoleon. I'm pretty much capped on energy, and they know it, so I'm just going to go for a bait here. I get off the Earthquake either way, and actually comes in Scrafty. Do they shield? They still shield. That's perfect. So we still get a shield. We still get the Earthquake, which is really good because I'd rather have damage on the Scrafty here because it is much harder to take out with my Deoxys Defense than the Empoleon. And now here comes the Empoleon. I come in, catch the Hydro Cannon. Now we can go straight Night Slash. We don't really need this Obstagoon for much, and we grab a shield, which is perfect. I'm gonna let this go. The Deoxys Defense is gonna help clean up the Scrafty. We actually simultaneously KO there, and then now we go for the Thunderbolts, which should be enough. I let the Foul Play go through just in case they're baiting me with a Power Punch, because I know I survived one Foul Play regardless. And yeah, here comes another Poliwrath, another Purified too. Both of them are Purified. Kind of interesting. All right, so we go in. I farm a lot of extra energy there, and I swap out, mainly because I don't really need an energy lead on this Galarian Stunfisk. It's very, very strong against Kanto Muck. There's nothing that Muck can really threaten with besides Dark Pulses, but these resisted Poison Jabs are not doing enough. and we still get off another Earthquake against a Poliwrath, which is absolutely huge. And I try to get off a Rock Slide, but they do get the Dynamic Punch first. I'm going to start countering down, and they come in with a Charizard. Dragon Breath Charizard, and I throw a Psycho Boost here. I just want to weaken this as much as possible. I don't really need my Obstagoon to do much here, just to start chipping away. I could tank really whatever move they throw, even if they throw Blast Burn, that's fine. I'm going to save my energy, save my shield, sorry, for the Deoxys defense. All right, and here comes the Poliwrath. I actually decided to shield here just in case there's a potential for a timeout victory for them. Unlikely, but yeah. And now we come in here, we take out their Poliwrath, and now we can just throw the Psycho Boost to debuff and go for the win. They actually go for the Blast Burn, which is definitely the right call because they can only get one move off there. All right, Registeel, very, very strong. And then now I swap in to my Galarian Stunfisk. Kind of like the same play, like to Kanto Muck. You don't really lose this matchup regardless, so you can swap in a little late if you want to get a little bit of energy lead here. And I am going to start throwing these Rock Slides. They're going to do a lot of damage, especially against the Shadow Zapdos. Definitely a spicy pick for sure. Go for another one here. And yeah, and then let's see if they throw another one. Yeah, and they don't throw another Drill Peck, so this is going to take him out. I'm in a huge advantageous position, and they come in with the Giratina. I'm going to swap for my Obstagoon, and they're going to concede. So as you can see here, I go another 5-0 to finish off, and going to catch all these encounters to hit rank 20 and get my ELO. Any guesses on what the ELO is? Well, here's your chance. And it ends up being a 23-61 start to the season. So I went back and checked on the record, and I was mistaken. It actually was a 30-5 run, so 5 4-1 sets and 2 5-0 sets with this team. If you made it this far in the video, feel free to let me know in the comments down below. Shout out to you all for sticking around and watching all the content. If you like this video, feel free to give it a like and share, subscribe for future content, hit that notification bell to get alerted right when I post a new video, and I'll catch you all next time. Bye.